or no? And then they may say yes, and then you can move on from that one. And I would reward Sarah. This next one, so this one you're trying to get the student to learn how to answer questions and converse. So I always use a puppet for one of these. So I would say, how do you feel? I feel angry. Sarah, how do you feel? And to help her kind of trigger that you want her to say, I feel angry, I would circle I feel angry, and then maybe even show this as well. And if she's not getting it, then I would say, I feel angry. Yes, good job, Sarah. And then usually that triggers in their mind, okay, they're wanting me to say what's in the slide. How do you feel? I feel happy. Sarah, how do you feel? I feel happy. Yes, great job, Sarah. High five. And then the last slide. This was probably the hardest slide for me. I had a similar one to this on my interview. So I would, if you do have flashcards for this, I think it's helpful. So for this one, I would circle the angry hoop on the screen and I'd say, angry, and have Sarah realize that. And I'd say, Sarah, do you see an angry face? Yes or no? And if she says yes, then I'd say, circle the angry face, and maybe even motion it. Now, if doesn't get it, or if the interviewer is pretending not to get it, I would even circle that first angry face and then draw a line to the angry hoop so that the student knows that's what you're trying to get them to do. And I'd say, Sarah, do you see an angry face? Draw a line to the hoop. Draw a line to the hoop, and then hopefully they'll catch on to it. I had an interviewer that was pretending to be a student that just didn't know anything, so I did the same thing and just had them practice saying angry and showing the emotion. They just practiced like they pretended like they didn't know what was going on. And then if you have time, do the same with the happy hoop. You may run out of time, and that's okay. I think I did run out of time on my interview, but that's okay. They just want you to get through as much as you can. Obviously, it would be great to get through all of the material. If you do get to the last screen with the goodbye, in formal lessons that you'll teach, there will be some kind of closing, a song or something that you'll sing. But in this case, I would say, Sarah, you did a great job today. You found, and then however many things she found, or if she got Peppa Pig, I'll sometimes put my things up here if it's not the colors. So I'll say, you got 5 friends. Great job, Sarah. High five. Goodbye, Sarah. Goodbye. And then that would be the end. You just don't want to end it too abruptly because sometimes that kind of confuses the student. A couple of things that you probably saw me do was I talk a lot with my hands, and that's what we call TPR. So that's just kind of facilitating communication without words since they are learning a new language. So as much as you can, showing, demonstrating, gesturing, that will help them to connect the language a little bit better. Always speak slowly. I tend to speak really quickly on my own, so I have to really slow it down, and you'll be able to gauge too with the students that you teach what's too fast and what's too slow. But speaking slowly, speaking clearly, having a lot of energy throughout your whole lesson is important. One of the pieces of feedback I got in my first interview, and I think in my mock one as well, was that I had a lot of energy in the beginning, and then as the lesson went, I kind of deflated as the lesson went on. And so keeping that energy going will help keep the student excited and engaged. And then the more props that you have, the more engaging your lesson is. Some students may not respond as well to props, but probably 90% of the students that I have love props. They love to see things coming in and out of the screen. During one of my interviews, I had the interviewer pretended like they just weren't paying attention. They just kind of sat back. And so I popped off the screen, which it's hard for me to do with the phone here. And then I had the puppet pop up and I said, oh, hello, Sarah, hello. And then usually that change of voice and then something different coming on the screen will help draw them back in. The main props that I use is a whiteboard. As you saw, my whiteboard is magnetic. I do have a set of magnetic letters that you can get sometimes at the dollar store or Target. I'm sure Oriental Trading Company has a lot of stuff, but those are great too for the segmenting. A lot of times I would put the B and then the EG and then move them together, and that's fun for them to see too. Flashcards are helpful. I think I got these at Target last year, but it has a picture on one side and it has both the upper and lower case on the other side, and that's helpful in a lot of lessons. You'll teach like big M and small m. Other things that I use a lot of are, once you get into other lessons, you'll see the characters Meg and Mike. I actually ordered these. I can send you the Etsy site that I ordered them from, but this is Meg and Mike, and they are double-sided, and Meg and Mike are woven through a lot of the different lessons. They are trademarks, the VIPKID. I use them a lot. I do have an orange shirt that I wear. I don't have it on. And then having an educational background is helpful. So this I have, for my younger guys, I'll sometimes cover this up and have different reward systems here. I've got my number banner back here and my letters back here. You can have a map. You can have anything that's decorative, just something that shows that this is a classroom setting and kind of sets the tone for the students. I'm trying to think of other things that I use a lot of. I honestly have collected so many things of my son's that I just kind of have laying around the house. I use balls a lot in lessons. I have a set of bath toys of his that he doesn't use. So these are all like different aquatic critters, which there are actually a lot of lessons on that, but it's great for colors. It's great for showing different sizes if you're teaching big and small. Puppets are really great. I mentioned that earlier. I got a 4-pack of Melissa and Doug puppets. They're really great. I probably would have liked to have ones that have the mouth that open and close, but instead I just use those. Those are the main things that I use. That's how I would teach the lesson. If you have any questions at all, definitely feel free to send me a Facebook message or an email, and I'll link my email at the bottom of this video as well. But VIPKID is an absolutely wonderful company. It's a great way to still teach while not actually being in a physical classroom. So if you have any questions or anything, let me know. Bye!